What is up, internet pogchamp pogsters? Today we're gonna talk about Beowulf. Beowulf, the original superhero. He stands out from the crowd. How? Well, if you haven't noticed, most of the characters in the poem seem to believe in Norse mythology. This makes sense, as the story takes place in 6th century Scandinavia. However, Beowulf is different. He is often seen talking about God, more specifically, Christian God. This is strange, because at the time, Christianity hadn't reached Scandinavia. That would only happen in the year 965 with the king Harald Bluetooth. No, not that Bluetooth. This Bluetooth. Actually, no, wait. They're the same Bluetooth. The Nordic letters for H and B together are the Bluetooth logo. Since the time of Beowulf and the time of Christianity's arrival don't match up, we can be sure that somewhere along the process of copying the text, the references to God were added in, most likely by monks working in monasteries. This could have been done to make the story more understandable to Christian readers. This is evident when Grendel is said to be related to Cain. There is no way that Beowulf was originally Christian. First of all, how would he have even found out about Christianity in the first place? Well, he certainly wasn't a prophet, and if he was, this story is completely fictional. It has nothing to do with the Bible. But then there's another, more realistic possibility. Beowulf could have not been Christian at all in the story. The references to God were most likely just added in later on. Beowulf gets his powers from the Christian God, and even if he did believe in Norse mythology, Christianity would still play a huge role in his life. Before Beowulf took on Grendel, he took off all of his armor, believing that a higher being would protect him.
I trust in God to protect me.
During the fight, it's revealed that Beowulf has an iron grip given to him by God. This is a pretty convincing sign that the copiers of the text were trying to promote Christianity. After all, this was somewhere in pre-conquest Middle Ages England, which was predominantly Christian. Throughout Beowulf, we can see a trend of his fights becoming more and more difficult. Grendel was pretty easy to defeat, being on solid ground. Grendel's mother, on the other hand, was a lot more challenging, and the fight was closer, shown when she returned the handlock swiftly, with a grim grip of her own, and seized him up tight. Weary at heart, the strongest of warriors, champion on foot, was thrown over them, so that he fell to the floor. However, Christianity does show its presence when the Lord, ruler of the heavens, determined it by right, with much ease when he stood up again. It seems that at every turn, Beowulf is aided by God. This is meant to glorify the religion, as even though Beowulf may not have been Christian, he is being helped by a Christian deity. This same concept is shown in the fact that Hrothgar and his throne are protected by God Almighty. While the end of Beowulf's life doesn't really seem to lie in the hands of God, the reason for which he died does have a Christian essence. Characters in the poem often have traits that parallel those of the Bible. Beowulf is an embodiment of many of Jesus' virtues. Think about it, both Beowulf and Jesus were selfless. They used all of their effort to benefit others, even if it meant harming or even killing themselves. Beowulf is a superhero, possessing unearthly abilities, like how Jesus is said to have walked on water or cured a blind man. Now, who bestowed upon them these powers? Well, God, of course. Beowulf and Jesus both harnessed divine power for the benefit of others. We know that both of these weren't even Christian. Beowulf was Nordic and Jesus was a Jew. However, that didn't stop them from glorifying God. This cements the image of Christianity as a universalizing religion, something that was very, very valuable to, you guessed it, the people who wrote the Beowulf manuscript. This brings us back to the inevitable truth that Beowulf was a Christian propaganda of sorts. It was a story modified to fit the customs of people from a different land. a land that didn't understand the virtues of Nordic culture. It's almost like a well-integrated advertisement for religion. Just like a sponsorship for a YouTube video. That's why I am so excited to inform you about the sponsor of today's video. Oh, okay, I don't have a sponsor. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace.